What's up, Dunwoody? Welcome back to the podcast. It's all about Dunwoody, Georgia. I'm your host, Matt Weber. With us today, we got the whole Lemonade Days crew. Show is brought to you by Village Orthodontics, who I'm sure that Village is going to be at the festival this year, right?
He never misses.
As always. But yeah, so podcast is all about Dunwoody, Georgia, and who better to talk to than one of the main events at Dunwoody, Lemonade Days. Hope, I guess, do you want to give us a little brief history on where Lemonade Days came from and the storm and all of that stuff? Just in case anybody doesn't know what Lemonade Days is somehow.
I'm sure there are some people who don't.
Maybe a few.
Who don't know.
And they'll be there this year.
Yeah, they will. So first of all, thank you for giving us this opportunity. Year 3, I think, that we've been on
at least.
So thank you very much for that. We certainly appreciate it.
No problem.
So Lemonade Days actually began as a relief effort and an opportunity to assist those families who were really devastated by the tornado that came through in 1989. So this, from that very small beginning, and as a way to give back to the community, and again to really assist those folks that were devastated and homes lost from the tornado, it has grown, and it is now the only fundraiser for the Dunwoody Preservation Trust. So this is actually the 23rd consecutive year of the event. The proceeds moving forward have gone to really assist the Dunwoody Preservation Trust in our mission to preserve the past, to celebrate the present, and to build for the future. And Dunwoody has been, I think, a great recipient of those with the 3 different properties that we maintain, along with the cemeteries. So.
And what are the 3 properties? The Donaldson Bannister?
Yeah, the Cheeks Sproul's farmhouse is actually owned by the Dunwoody Preservation Trust. The Donaldson Bannister Farm, which is quite a gem, located on the corner of Vermac and Dunwoody Road, is a city park, and the house itself is on the National Registry. So we assist the city by being caretakers. Our office is there, and it's also a public special event venue. So you can book your wedding, your rehearsal dinner. I might have booked my daughter's rehearsal dinner and had it at the farm last May. In addition, we maintain 3 cemeteries in Dunwoody, and then do a number of different programming. History Alive happens every other month at the farm, and we bring in different elements of history, different folks to come in and talk about things. There's been yoga at the farm. I think we have a new entry of game night. So it's constant, activities that really enrich our neighborhood and keep Dunwoody really alive through the past, the present, and into the future.
For sure. And it's a great place to go take pictures. If anybody's looking for family pictures, that Donaldson Bannister house has some really cool spots.
It does. And I might have been there during the Christmas season photo session and suggested to one family in their attire, hey, shoot that at the barn. They're like, we did that last year.
Yeah.
But, I think that I look at Lemonade Days as Dunwoody's country fair. It gives everybody in Dunwoody the opportunity to come out, fingers crossed, on beautiful sunshine for 5 days. And it's that event that it just makes people happy, whether you're riding the carnival rides or you're eating the beverage or drinking some beer, enjoying some rides. Mark's going to talk about our stage and Dunwoody Idol. Jan's going to talk about our Dunwoody authors. There's literally something for everyone. And I think the coolest thing now that I find is that it's something I call Lemonade Days Legacy. And it's now all those folks who grew up going to Lemonade Days, they take their family. So it's, I think, become a very integral part of Dunwoody. People celebrate their birthdays. I'm trying to find who got engaged there so I can put that out. But I think it's something that folks look forward to. It's an opportunity to make new friends, reconnect with old friends in a beautiful park. Again, fingers crossed, in the sunshine.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, it's like a small town feel. It's like the parade. It's like a small town feel in our big city, you know?
Yeah. And we're
Yeah.
successful because everybody shows up, because
Yeah.
theoretically we should not be successful because we're laid in a park and nobody can see us. Most carnivals are drive by, but it's really,
Yeah.
I can't stress enough how much we appreciate somebody showing up for us. And everybody plays a part. I say it takes a village, and it does. Not just the Dunwoody Preservation Trust producing it, but it takes the community supporting it. It takes the churches
The
across
volunteers.
allowing for parking to be there. It takes the city park saying, yes, you can have your festival here. All the vendors that we work with. So it's a pleasure to be a part of it. And for me, my favorite thing is just walking around once the gates open and seeing those smiles on everybody's faces.
Yep. And you've got all these volunteers. So, Mark, why don't you tell us about Dunwoody Music? Or you can talk about Dunwoody Music if you'd like. Mark is from Dunwoody Music, but talk about the music in Dunwoody and Dunwoody Idol, Battle of the Bands. There's your little plug.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. So we had a Battle of the Bands, I guess, with the Dunwoody Nature Center hosted a few weeks back. And so the winner of those bands will be kind of featured kind of at the special spots. I'll hit on that in a minute. But yeah, we got music going like Thursday all the way through Sunday. Thursday, I think starting around 6, we have the Peachtree Middle School Band showing up. They're going to be playing, I guess, some jazz type stuff. Then DHS is actually going to make it out this year as well. So we've got like a nice block of kind of school bands playing Thursday evening. Friday, we've got, I guess, some of the bands that played at the Battle of the Bands. We have Glider. They're kind of a heavier kind of alt-rock group. Bart kind of is an indie band, like kind of the, yeah. Indie's such a broad word, but I think people know what I mean when I say that. And then Sister Ray, that says kind of some, they pull a lot from like kind of throwback like 80s kind of guitar bands and that kind of thing. Stuff like, I don't know, maybe the Smiths or Elvis Costello. And then we have last year's Dunwoody Idol winner, Maria Darasari. She's playing at 7.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I think she had a prom or something like that going on Saturday night. So she's going to be performing Friday night, but she'll be doing a full set. So that music starts at 6 o'clock and will be running until 10. So that should be a fun Friday evening. And then Saturday, we've got really like a pretty long day. I mean, the music gets going, I think, around 11:15. We have actually a studio from kind of over in the Marietta area contacted me and asked about bringing some of their bands. So we've got 2 teen bands that are going to come at 1 and 2 o'clock and play. Then there's a spot we're trying to fill, so I don't know. I guess I might end up there making a little racket somewhere around the 3:15 area. And then after that, like around 4:45, we have Lapidus and Miles, which is actually the rabbi over at Davis Academy has a group that he formed with, I guess, one of the singers from Ebenezer Baptist Church, which is like MLK's church. And they've been like kind of touring around and I think using it as a sort of a means to bridge gaps, I think, between, I mean, there's always, I think, been a strong link between the Black and Jewish community. But I think that they're using their music kind of as a means to kind of express that. So anyway, they've got really cool. A group that they're coming out to play with. I think that should be something kind of cool leading up to Dunwoody Idol at 6 o'clock. And then we have at 7 after that, Casey and the Kids, who were the winner of the Battle of the Bands this year, followed by Delonia, who was the crowd choice at the Battle of the Bands. And then last year's winner, Midsummer Motel, who actually released an EP recently, I guess. And then
Did they really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they came on the podcast.
Yeah, so that should be a pretty banging evening of music. We've got a great group of singers this year. Like, I think just really, like, strong singers. We've got the band rehearsing right now. And let's see. And then Sunday, Oh yeah, I don't have that written down here. But Sunday we have Dan and Company coming out to do some dancing, and I think that was starting at noon. Isn't that right, Hope?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, they're coming out. They're gonna have some dancing displays kind of going on from noon until 3, and then Sandy Springs Music is bringing out some of their young musicians to perform, and then also the teachers from Sandy Springs Music are going to put on a show after that. Kind of.
So it's like all the locals. You've got all different age groups all the way through.
Yeah. It's
different religions. Everybody coming together to play their music.
Yeah. I mean, that's what music's about. I think
that's cool.
As much as we all like dissent and unrest among the people. Like I guess we could lay it down for one day. So.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, so it should be a good time. I'm excited. All the musicians are, and I think it's indicative of, at least as far as noisy stage type bands and school programs, what's going on musically within the community. So that's, I don't know, it's exciting.
Yeah. Yeah. And for those of you who don't know what Dunwoody Idol is, tell us a little bit about Dunwoody Idol and like where those ladies came from. And...
So Dunwoody Idol is like a singing contest. I think this is the 7th or 8th, year that we've done it. And so what we do is like in the late winter, I guess we do like an audition day, and singers come out and they just do like a little solo audition, either with an instrument or some perform a cappella or bring a track, or sometimes have an accompanist come with them, and they sing whatever. We do a little bit of judging, and we pick 10 finalists, and then they come and they perform at Lemonade Days with the band that we bring in. All the kids that are selected get to pick a song, and the band will learn that, and then we get up there, we put on a show. Of course, you, Matt Weber, are the MC.
Yeah, and you gave me a list of a lot of names that are going to be hard to pronounce too. So yeah. I appreciate that again, Mark.
Yeah. Always do my part. So
yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of what it is. We've got a little bit of a competitive element. We have some judges that come and kind of choose the singer I think that they feel put on the strongest all around performance, which is always set firmly in the realm of subjectivity. But we try to find judges that I think understand the performance medium pretty well.
And Maria won last year. She did an awesome job. And she, thanks for putting that together, because she joined us at the Parade Festival. So the winner of Dunwoody Idol this year, I think that's how we're going to do it going on, is the winner gets to play or gets to sing at the festival after the parade.
Yeah.
She really enjoyed it last year. So if they want to do it, please tell them they can.
And I want to add really quick too that along with the Dunwoody Idol winner, there's a crowd favorite.
Yeah.
And a first, so everybody gets to be a part of that. So contestant, there's still an opportunity. They got to bring their friends, bring their family, whatever, to make sure that they pack it in and they can get that vote as well.
Yeah, there was a few of them rolling deep last year.
Yeah,
for sure.
It was awesome.
Half the crowd was one of them.
Yeah. We're gonna have to start putting up.
But that's a good turnout. You brought a lot of people last year.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have an estimate, but there had to have been 500 people there. I mean, it was a lot.
And I think it grows every year, and every year, a little something else is added. Thank you very much for the opportunity for the winner to sing the anthem parade and actually have their own entry. But it's just, I love Dunwoody Idol because from the beginning, it was kudos to Mark. It was his brainchild. And I feel like, along with Dunwoody Preservation Trust giving back to the community, a big part of that was to really spotlight the community, and what better way than local talent and artists, and to give those young adults the opportunity to be on that big stage in front of 500 people and give it all that they have is just, for me makes me very proud that DPT has given that. And, it's all Mark. Every year he works so hard to make this happen, and it doesn't just happen. And the lineup he's got this year, amazing, absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and it was cool because it was kids from all different schools. There was middle school, elementary school, or I think there was elementary, or maybe middle school, but they were from the private schools, the public schools. It was everybody from around Dunwoody.
yeah.
I thought it was really, really cool. So thanks for letting me be part of it again.
Yeah. Thank you for being a part. I think you always kill it with the emceeing, so it's a good time.
It's fun.
Yeah.
And I have my favorite too that I get a picture with afterwards. So when they become famous, the MC's favorite. So when they become famous, I get like a little autograph and stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So Jan, you did, I guess last year was your first Dunwoody Authors Tent. Is that right?
Oh, no, we've been doing it for 5 years. So
You've been doing it for 5 years? Okay.
Kathy Florence started it, from Dunwoody Crier, and then she handed it over to Kathy Manos Penn for a year. And then just before COVID, I think, or the year before COVID, I took over.
Okay.
So I've been doing it probably 3 years, but then we had COVID in between. So we didn't do it, I don't think, for 2 years, the bookstore. But then we did it last year again, and now this is, I don't know, 5th year probably. And this year we have 21 authors, so we're really delighted about that. And over various genres. I mean, mostly it's fiction, but we do have a couple of three non-fiction people. And it's going to be exciting. We've got children's books, and including YA, and I'll mention some of the authors: Sherry Ellis, Laura Weiner, Andrea Lane, and Jenny Guberman. Jenny is an older author. We're all older authors, actually, but Jenny's quite amazing. She wrote her first book when she was about 70, but she's doing really well, so that's really good. Sherry Ellis actually is a musician as well, and as is Mike Shaw, who's written a book on the musician, and it's literary fiction. And there's one other person that's a musician. New this year. I haven't met her yet. Her name's Fatima Jackson, and she's faith-based. And so we're looking forward to seeing those new authors as well as some returning authors. We have books on sports, suspense, thrillers. David Rabin has written a thriller, and other suspense writers, Marilyn Barron, she writes suspense and also romance. And then one of my favorite people who's also getting a mention here is Kathy Desjardins, who actually has done all our amazing flyers, which I have some of them here. And she's designed all of them, and they get to be posters on the booth. So every author brings about 10 or 20 copies, depending on how many books they've got, to the booth, and we try to sell them for the authors. The authors do make a donation to the Dunwoody Preservation Trust, and we just have a fun time with all our authors. Many of them come from Atlanta Writers Club, and actually I've got the president of the club with his books this year, and his wife Kim Connery. The president is George Weinstein, plus several other authors who I'm not sure if I can mention everybody. Kay Pascal has a book on parenting. Bradshaw Hayes has a book on the 150 years of the Braves, and his father, I think, or it might have been his grandfather, he's written his story. He was Bradshaw Hayes, I believe that was his name, and he's written King of the Southern Diamond. We have Southern Charm by Catherine Nichols and Sophia Alexander, who writes Family Saga. Southern Gothics, Sophia Alexander also does. And a whole host of people, science fiction, fantasy, and there's a book on New Zealand, actually, which is close to my heart because that's where my daughter is. So I'll definitely be buying that book. And who have I missed?
You.
Oh, me. Oh, yeah, me. My books, history. My mother was a code breaker at Bletchley Park during World War II, so I've written her story. It's something I had to find out about, so it took me 8 years to write. And I've now published actually 3 books around that World War II subject. One was about my mother, another one was about Janice Martin Benario, who I tracked down. She was born in Baltimore, worked in Washington, and fortunately for me, lived in Atlanta. So I was able to get her story as a basis for my research on my mother's book. It took about 10 years to do all of that. Probably the first time I met Mark, actually, I probably didn't know anything about that because that was 10 years ago. Do you remember when we were doing the Already Taken with the Haiti family and everybody, that group? Then that's because I live opposite Hades.
Yeah.
We met a couple of times then. And and then my father was also a Far East prisoner of war in Singapore. My voice is giving out now. And so I have 3 books. One on my mother, one on Janice Martin Benario from Decatur, and one on my father. And I don't know if I'm going to do any more. I'd like to, but they take up a lot of time. So
I didn't realize that's who you were. I know the Codebreaker book.
You do?
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody was telling me about that the other day.
Yeah. May have
Very
been Hope.
cool.
No.
No, it was somebody else.
Oh, yeah. I
That's
know
really-
people know I was in the crier. Sorry, my voice is going.
Yeah, that's really cool. All right, Hope. Well, is there anything else that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I just let me first say thank you so much, Jan, because this is something she took on and she's run with it, and it's a beautiful, wonderful addition to the festival. And she works so hard to bring these authors. And to be honest, she's asking for more space, and I couldn't even give it to her this year because it's taken off so much, and we've got a wait list. So, Jan, I'm hoping to give you 3 tents next year. So keep doing it. But thank you very much for all the hard work you put in, and I look forward to meeting all those authors and getting me some signed copies. Your code breakers were Christmas presents to my family this year signed, so thank you very much. Yeah, just a quick overview of the dates and times. And so it is April 19th. It begins Wednesday, April 19th. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, the hours are 4 to 10. Saturday, the 22nd, we are looking at the big day, as I like to call it, 10 to 10, and then Sunday, noon to 6. So parking is across the street. All 3 of the amazing churches across the street are welcoming parking. Some are paid, some are not. In addition, there may be some opportunity in the back of the park to park. And I've been saying the word park, but I haven't said what that park is. So it is at Brook Run Park, located next to Peachtree Middle School on North Peachtree. The parking at the school is also available. Of course, everything is on a first come, first serve. I do want to mention that there is a full schedule of events because we have, as Jana said and Mark has said, so many things happening. Please go to our website, lemonade.com. You can see a complete listing of all of the events happening, including the band schedule. There's a separate tab for that, Dunwoody Idol / Dunwoody Authors and Friends. We've loaded up an entire schedule so that you don't miss your favorite author and when they're going to be there to sign. And then we have a couple of new things happening this year. We began an honorary Miss Lemonade Day last year, which was really my attempt to honor those ladies who really began the festival, who have poured their heart and soul into Dunwoody Preservation Trust. So last year, a DPT founding member and actually one of the founders of the festival, Queenie Ross, was honored as Miss Lemonade Days. Yes, they get a crown. There is a small lemon hot glued on it. There's a sash. It's just a really, I think, great way to make somebody feel good about what they've done and give others the opportunity to think. So last year, I think in our first year, we didn't quite realize what was going to happen when we crowned Queenie because every little girl there wanted a picture with her.
Oh,
This year, we have honored Kathy Florence, who, again, one of the founding members of the Festival of the Dunwoody Preservation Trust. She is our 2023 honorary Miss Lemonade Days. We have actually decided to put up a little area. We've got a super cool little throne, a backdrop, honorary Miss Lemonade Days. While she will walk the crowd when she's there, you can get your picture with her. And then a wonderful organization, Cosplay Volunteers, reached out. And I think, Matt, you said you had some of their characters at the 4th of July
Yep.
parade. I'm super excited because we have some characters that are volunteering their time just to bring joy to others there. We've got Rapunzel will be there. We've got Elsa from Frozen. I don't know if she sings, but you don't want me singing in her place. I'll tell you that. But I just love that it's another opportunity to bring some sunshine, bring some smiles. And I love that people just reach out to me and say, we want to do something. How can we participate? So if you'll check the website for full schedule and events. And lastly, I want to say thank you so much to the city of Dunwoody and to Discover Dunwoody, and especially to the police department, because I say it takes a village, and we have an amazing village. We're a Dunwoody signature event. It is because of the city and really their support and putting us on their website and, you know, sharing all of our social media. Discover Dunwoody has been very gracious. We have an opportunity. We have a full page ad in the Atlanta Parent Magazine. They're in partnership with us, and they assisted me with that because we are a nonprofit and we don't have that in our wheelhouse. Don't have everything on our wheelhouse, and we rely on the kindness of others. And the Dunwoody Police Department is what keeps everybody safe and donate their time and energy and effort. And I just want to say thank you so much to all the organizations, vendors, the city, anyone that has anything to do with it, because it is truly a collective effort. And on behalf of the Dunwoody Preservation Trust, thank you so much for letting us bring this to the city. And thank you for having us today, Matt.
No problem. You got a cool T-shirt this year?
Oh my God,
Who did the T-shirt? That's my favorite part.
excited. And I have to say, you know, when I began, this is my 8th year producing, and I couldn't do everything the first year. So the one thing I wanted to do is, you know, part of what has been my mission is to incorporate as many elements of the community. So Jan brings that with the authors, Mark does that with Dunwoody Idol, and so I had this passion that I wanted our festival logo every year to come from the Peachtree Middle School, because we are right in the hood, like they are right there, and they are one of our biggest supporters. So amazing art teacher Molly Newton, and if it were not for her, we couldn't do this. So I reached out the second year I produced, and I said, look, I have this idea. I'd really love to get your art students to do whatever they feel is a cool logo, and we'll come in and we'll judge, and that'll be it. And so we've been doing that. This is the 7th year. The first time I don't, you know, of course I'd have been hesitant. We had maybe 80 entries, and it was maybe just our art students. Now, anybody in the school, 300 entries we have been judging for the past 3 years. And so this year is honestly a little bit of a departure. And it's kind of hard to pick the logo because we're looking at 300 entries. So it's been a bit of a process. You know, we go in on a certain Thursday in February, we lay 300 out. I've got a couple DPT members. This year we actually had Miss Perez, the Peachtree Middle School principal, participate, and staff member. So it's kind of a serious business, you know, when you're picking art for a T-shirt, that you're doing the right thing and everybody feels like they've had a part in it. So we were able to whittle it down. We have 3 different logos represented, and the front is actually a super cool big T-shirt that's red, and it's got a bike on it. And then we've got a super cool Dunwoody Preservation Trust. If I had it, I would hold it up and show you. But I get to pick them up in an hour. And so look at the website. Red is a new color for us.
Yeah.
And
well, they're like collector's items. You got to have like your shirt every year, right? It's like the Peachtree Road Race.
Yes, funny you say that, because we're now producing a poster, wait for it, of the festival logo. So this year and moving forward, you can either purchase a t-shirt for $20, a poster for $20, or you can purchase both for $40. So I'm super excited about that. I'm hoping, I think it's something that had been done in the past, and I'm a little slow to the gate. I don't know why I didn't see that in the past 8 years. Thank you, someone, for bringing that to my attention. So hopefully that's something that I know that will continue. So check the website. It's being all loaded today. You'll see that t-shirt. You can purchase yours on site. I do want to mention that the wristbands, we do have family night on Wednesday and Thursday for $20. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the wristbands are $30, and they are one-day wristbands. So be sure and come out. Everyone's set and ready. We're ready to open those gates on Wednesday at 4:00. I always say my job is done. I set us up for success, and then I just get to enjoy the next 5 days and let all the other people just
handle all the issues. That's how the parade is, kind of. It's like you can only do what you can do, and then once it starts going, it's over.
Yeah, like I said, it takes a village, and I get us to the starting gate, and then we open those doors, and the horses are off.
Take care of itself.
Exactly.
Well, cool. Well, thanks for joining me, everybody. This was fun,
Thank
and
you.
can't wait. That's the 19th through the 23rd.
Okay. Thanks.
Thanks, Matt. See you.
Thanks.
See you.